Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your August 2019 general reading. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a general, obviously. Then we're going to take a very brief look at your relationship dynamics. So yeah, that's the plan. Your longer relationship readings are on Vimeo. The link will be underneath. But we'll take a look and try and get a picture of what the dynamics are for you, okay? So give me a minute to shuffle the cards. We shuffle one more time, and then cut one more time. So please give me clear messages for the sign of Scorpio for the month ahead. 8 of Swords behind you with the King of Swords. Whew. 8 of Swords is that feeling of too much mind here, to tell you the truth. It's that feeling of being in a prison, but the prison is essentially your own thinking. It doesn't always feel that way, and there's times in our life where circumstances do make us feel that we're trapped, okay? But let's carry on. What you want is the Empress. What's helping you get the Empress is the 8 of Wands. The challenge is the Wheel, which is always about the clock. So some of you are thinking about family, maybe, children, that sort of thing. And it's almost this feeling of timing, destiny. Let's carry on. The Tower card is showing up in your relationships. Don't worry, guys, we'll clarify it. I'm a reader who actually likes a Tower card. Because the Tower breaks through the Devil card. The Devil can be about oppression, something being stuck, feeling that you're trapped. And then the Tower is a very liberating energy. 3 of Wands in your money and work. 5 of Cups in a soul position. What is going on? But then the 4 of Wands is the outcome. So I wouldn't worry at whatever this 5 of Cups is about. Tell me about the 5 of Cups. Looks like there's been some past disappointments, some past hurts. But look, it's with the Sun. There's almost a feeling, Scorpio, here that you're potentially going to worry about nothing. Now, I know when things happen to us, it doesn't actually feel like nothing, but when the Sun comes out, the Sun only ever has one message: to relax. It's a promise that everything's okay. But I'm wondering if the 5 of Cups is to do with that Tower card. But then the outcome is the 4 of Wands, which is crossing a threshold. Some of you might be considering family, getting married, by the way. Why is the Tower card showing up for Scorpio? Oh, it's with the Knight of Cups. Beautiful. My favourite combination of cards is the Tower with the Ace of Cups, actually, to tell you the truth. It's just this, this overwhelming, can be love at first sight. It can be this complete liberation from something that's been oppressive and heavy. The biggest trouble you might fall into is the 5 of Cups, which tells us, because it's not happening right away, it ain't happening, because the Wheel is the challenge, which is to do with time, the clock, okay? But the Sun shining on the 5 of Cups is telling you you just don't have to worry. It's a process card, the 5 of Cups. And it's through the 5 that we get to the 6. And there's no way to the 6 but through the 5, okay? A lot of us can get very... So tell me about the 4 of Wands. What a beautiful outcome. Yeah, I almost want to clap. Because that's what the 4 of Wands is about. It's a celebration of something. It can be a graduation, a marriage, an engagement, a new business, something which is changing your life from one phase to another. For some of you, it might be about work, because you've got the 3 of Wands here, which can be a waiting card, and this will be the outcome. Okay, but for some of you, this Knight of Cups is coming in and breaking the Tower. Now, when the Tower card shows up in a love reading, it's a very sudden and quick shift. Yeah, it can be, for some of you, one minute your life's one way and then it's the next. Okay, some of you might be be invited to get married, okay, that sort of thing. Or some of you are having a love at first sight. That is what happens with the Tower and the Knight of Cups. Always incredibly exciting cards when they appear. So behind you is the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is a feeling of you're thinking, feeling stuck and feeling trapped, okay? For some of you, it's with this King of Swords. He might be a person, and maybe it's someone who can be a little bit frozen, the King of Swords, by the way. Some of you feel a little bit trapped around legal situations, official situations, but there's a feeling of being a little bit restricted here. Is there a connecting card between these two, please? Ace of Pentacles, yeah. So maybe waiting to hear about a job, about money, something like that. Some sort of having this Ace of Pentacles in your hand. Now what you want is the Empress, and you've got the Empress twice is what you want. She is abundance. She's prosperity. She is the goddess, the protector of the earth, very, very, very much. And it's actually your opposite sign. She's Taurus. So she could be about children, home, that sort of thing. Very, very beautiful, beautiful energy. Now what's helping you get the Empress is the Eight of Wands. And you've got the Tower and the Knight of Cups in your relationships. There's some very swift change about to happen for you. Very swift, like overnight. And I think it's emotional, yeah, because the Two of Cups connects the whole story. So this is a relationship. Just like that. That's what the Tower card means. It can be an existing relationship, and the relationships felt quite suffocating. Felt like it's not going anywhere, because the Devil card frees us from that energy of, it'd be the energy of Saturn, the Devil, which can be about someone withholding their energy, withholding the flow of love. It's going to change, Scorpio, okay? It's very funny. I tend to do your readings first, and for some reason I put it off right to the end, which is very unusual for me. I think I can see why. There seems to be very swift and rapid change. So why is the wheel the challenge? It's going to be about timing, always is, because the wheel is a clock. That's the end of it. It represents a clock. It's about the hands of fate that bring the key to the right lock. I think for some of you, this is more about work. Because the Three of Wands is a classic. You've got these 3 wands behind you already, but there's a sense of waiting for something. And because that ace is with all those swords cards, there's a feeling of being a little bit restricted here. Anything more about the 3 of Wands? Because I don't even want to touch that relationship energy. I just want to keep that exactly as it is. We'll do a bit of clarifying towards the end. The 3 of Wands, yeah, and work and money. Overworking, 10 of Wands, feeling oppressed, feeling quite stuck in a repetitive loop here. Deep breath, it's nearly over. Because the 10 of Wands is an ending card, and it's the ending of one story, so we begin again at the ace, yeah? Now, the 5 of Cups in a soul position, I don't know if that's going to be emotional or around work. What it might represent is a sudden Tower moment, then a sudden retreat. Because the Tower burns so incredibly powerful that for some people the Tower is a very, very frightening card. What's frightening about the Tower card is 1 minute your life can be one way and then it's the other. So for some of you who are meeting someone new, don't worry if there's a gap. The Sun's saying it's going to be okay because it's going to the Four of Wands. That might also be playing out in your work situation. So waiting, but the situation's nearly over. So, gosh, tell me more about the Tower and the Knight of Cups. I love seeing these cards together. When people are really looking for change, nothing really changes. There's a few cards that bring rapid change. Tends to be the Tower, the Knight of Swords, not as much the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, and these are the key themes, and it's definitely through a relationship this change is coming your way, and it's leading you to where you want to be, which is the Empress. So the Empress holds the Venus sign because the Empress rules love, and I'm talking about love of all different kinds, not only romantic, love of family, of home, of the earth, that sort of thing. So there's absolutely rapid change here. I'm wondering if the Five of Cups is maybe about work, but also I think what might happen, and it happens a lot when the Tower and the Knight of Cups shows up. So the Knight of Cups and the Tower comes, and then the Knight just he gets back on his horse again, and it's left you feeling like, what was that? But the Knight will come back in again. Tell me more about this story, please. I think that's maybe for some of you is what's going to happen. Anything more about the story? I think that's what's going to happen. I can't get anything more of the story. Nothing is really showing up here. The Strength card is showing up, which means about having courage, endurance, waiting. But it's the outcome that I'm going to... The Four of Wands is celebrating. It's good news. It's crossing a threshold. What's the Four of Wands about, please? Again, the Strength card keeps showing up. Can be Leo, but this is about controlling the lion. So when we control the lion, it quite often talks about our more challenging emotional states, especially being a Scorpio, because that's what you're here to master. You're here to master the emotions, and because it's Scorpio, it's always going to be the highest high and the lowest low, and trying to find a middle ground between them all. So that seems to be a little bit of a story here unfolding for you. The Sun over the Five of Cups is an absolute guaranteed promise that whatever you're feeling is going to be okay. Which means what you need to master with that Strength card is allowing the emotions to go through you, because where you want to be is that Four of Wands. Can you give me another card, please? What an exciting reading. One card, please, for Scorpio. You get the Yang card. That's about action. The Eight of Wands with the Two of Cups is the gift. The Eight of Wands is a really active card. It's about putting your energy out into the world and trusting what's going to come back, because something's going to come back. And I think what's going to come back is this. Someone is literally about just to break right into your world. But you know what, Scorpio, it never really happens that way. When you take a step back, you realise that you've sensed someone. You've been feeling the change. And quite often before a big change, we go into, because of how astrology works, before the Tower card comes in, it quite often speaks of being in a little bit of a period of feeling quite oppressed, feeling that nothing's moving. And so it's not that it comes from nowhere. It's just how this great destiny works, that sometimes we need to be a little bit in I don't want to use the word depression, but it can feel like that. And then the shift happens. My worst nightmare as an astrologer is if I look at someone's birth chart and they've got no big aspects like the Tower card coming, because it tends to mean that they've got no big changes. You have got some huge big changes going on. Some of you might even be considering getting married, okay? If not, it's almost going to be a little bit of a love at first sight. If you're in an existing relationship, something's going to break through. Still a little bit of oppressive energy around finances, guys, okay? But the good news is the cycle is ending. So how is Scorpio approaching the relationships this month? One card. Okay, so you're the Eight of Cups. A searching card. None of these cups have spilt in this deck, but you're looking for the missing cup. And because you want the Empress, maybe some of you are starting to feel, oh, you know, there's got to be more completion. There's got to be more to it than this. You want to birth something. You want to expand yourself. So how's the other person approaching Scorpio? One card. Okay. Okay, so you've got a King of Wands again with a Seven of Wands. Now, it doesn't have to be a fire sign person. It can be just a bit passion, but they're sitting on their throne and they're not being that active, which means that's why we're looking for a card like the Tower card to bring in change. A little bit defensive here, which can be making you feel that your needs are not being met. Because as a Scorpio, you need incredible relationship depth and connection. The King of Wands with the Seven of Wands can be a little bit of a standoffish energy, which is what's connecting the two of them, please. The Queen of Cups, there's an awful lot of feeling, and then the Chariot. So I think things are going to move. I think your biggest Five of Cups struggle is maybe dealing with this king. He sits on his throne. He doesn't do anything because he's a king. And that is maybe what's making some Scorpios feel there's a missing cup here. There's something my heart longs for that's not been fully met here. Do I think there's going to be change? Yes, I do. And so do the cards. Ace of Wands. Some of you are in this Eight of Cups, and what you're doing is searching for the Tower. You're searching for this twin flame, soulmate, whatever you want to call it. I don't like the king not acting, and I wonder if that's where your Eight of Swords and King of Swords has come from. And he doesn't act because there's a little bit of shielding up around him. The Chariot is full steam ahead, and the Queen of Cups is an awful lot of compassion towards someone's defensiveness. But there's something in your heart, Scorpio, that is looking for that missing cup. So you can have the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups and the Empress are pretty much the same card. Intriguing. Okay, I'm going to go and do your relationship reading. If not, don't worry, Scorpio. I also do weekly readings. And I think the advice is to allow the sun over that Five of Cups. You might fall into the trick of believing that you're not getting your needs met, when in fact I think a lot of the issues are going to be resolved this month, and there's going to be a lot of forward motion. Okay. Whew, gosh guys, I'll speak to you later. Bye.